Back with the market right here on ET now. It's actually quite brittle. It's a bit of a tug of war out there. Well, you've got an Ultratech, M&M, Bharti, minuscule as it may be, the move on Bharti, and some of the IT names along with L&T which are holding out. But look at Reliance Industries. If we can just bring up the intraday chart of that one. I don't know if there's any news flow on that or not, but it's an over 3% fall that Reliance is seeing, and I think that single-handedly would be pressuring the Nifty so much, because had it not been for Reliance, maybe we could have done a lot better and perhaps caught up with our global counterparts as well. So big pounding on Reliance. 1162 is where that stock has now shrunk to. Look at IndusInd Bank as well, almost headed in for a 4% decline. Axis down again 2.25%, and Axis really seems to be one of the top within the pecking orders from within banking names. What's HDFC Bank then up to? Let's bring up that stock. That also is down about 0.5% or so. So not quite convinced actually with today's stability. Let's see how the latter part of today's trade actually pans out. For now, we're down about almost 0.5% already. But let's welcome on board now Nrupesh Shah from Symphony, and let's talk about where their market is headed right now, given that it's expected to be an extremely hot summer. And to be fair, the heat wave has already been impacting some parts of Maharashtra, including Mumbai. But good to have you then, Mr. Shah, on the show. Summers have hit India early, clearly this time around, with some parts of the country already experiencing heat waves. Tell me what the pre-summer demand sentiment is looking like for you.
No, thanks for having me. No, your observation is absolutely correct. So it has been early summer set in, and secondary demand, that is a consumer demand, has also started early, especially in some parts of the South India and parts of the Central India. And along with that, across the country, the trade sentiments are also pretty well.
Is there a way in which we can establish that how will the summer demand translate? I think he's trying to adjust his camera. Are you good, sir? Can I come to you?
No, it's fine. Please go ahead.
Mathematically, can you establish that at what point in time there would be more demand if mercury crosses, let's say, a certain temperature? I mean, it's like saying that if the summer is a normal summer between 40 and 45 degrees, what happens to demand? If it is early summer start, what happens to demand? Is there a pattern there?
Of course, there is a pattern. So if there is a early summer, as we are witnessing currently, there has to lead to decent growth. And if mercury crosses 40 degree, say continuously for 10 days in any parts of the country, that leads to a phenomenal demand. If mercury crosses 42, 44 degree, it leads to magnificent demand. And if it crosses 45 degree even for 4 or 5 days, it's like almost stock out situation. So there is a direct correlation between the consumer demand and the mercury.
But also, Mr. Shah, give us a sense that what kind of a discounting is the company working with? Because we do understand that the company is planning to launch new products, but your competitors too are revving up the same. So give us a sense that any discounts that the company is planning to give at this point in time?
So first and foremost, once season approaches, which has already approached, there is 0% discount across the country, across the channel. So there is no discount. Number two, we have already launched 17 new models of air coolers across the product category, across the price range. And that is more than entire competition put together. They have received overwhelming response, including in some of the models, demand is far higher than supply. And we need not to resort to price discounting, and that is our policy. And we don't do that.
In terms of the price hikes as well, because what we see is that from the last season to this, any particular price hike that you have taken this time around?
Yeah. So as far as new models are concerned, their profitability and EBITDA margin is really superior. As far as old models are concerned, depending upon the location, depending upon the product positioning. In some of the models, there has been a price hike as high as 10%. In some of the models, 2 to 5%. And in some of the models, there is no price hike. So it's a very strategic call rather than having a price hike across the board.
Could you tell us broadly that how much of the air cooler market which you represent is still dominated by the unorganized segment and how much is with the organized segment? Because the story for Symphony has been that हम branded cooler बनाते हैं. We are making coolers which are sleeker. We are making coolers which appeal more to the customers.
Absolutely. So as far as value terms are concerned, still about 60% is unorganized and 40% is organized. And that ratio was like 15% and 85% about 10, 12 years before. So still there is a large segment of unorganized market. However, rapid shift is happening. At the same time, as a part of our new launch of models, there is an Air Force range of models. And Air Force range of models, under which there are a couple of models, that is the range which is completely to take on unorganized players in terms of the product, in terms of the performance, and in terms of the price range. And that has also received good response.
To wrap it up in terms of the change which is happening, where everyone is saying that AC is the way to go, cooler is old school. Is there a challenge which is now coming for, let's say, entry level and cooler manufacturers, where AC demand suddenly seems to be moving up because the desire to buy AC, perhaps it's more to do with lifestyle and also affordability now?
See, try to understand India. India is also Bharat, and there are different segment of the customers. As of now, air conditioner penetration, if we talk about the cooling pyramid, air conditioners are at the top of the cooling pyramid, but its penetration is 8%. It means 92% of the households don't have air conditioner. 14% of the households are such who have air coolers. It means 8 plus 14, 22. And that 78% where there is a Bharat, they do have fan or no cooling appliance at all. Say, even in Mumbai, in many, many parts of the country, despite coastal area, few years before we used to sell 2,000, 3,000 units. Now we are selling more than 15,000 to 20,000 units. Of course, in Delhi, it is far, far higher than that. Last year, on the contrary, what we witnessed as air cooler is plug and play product. Many consumers shifted from air conditioner to air cooler because in air conditioner installation, piping, that used to take some time. There was a manpower shortage. And when there is an extreme heat, consumer demands immediate cooling solution. And last year, everybody knows what kind of the demand and performance was. And even in the current quarter, also the way in which it is moving, we are witnessing very buoyant demand and growth.
Nrupesh, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your...
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.